Okay, welcome back to Edpuzzle Tutorials. I just wanted to show you real quick how to create content for your classroom or create a lesson for your classroom if you want to. So once you've signed into your account, you'll see your classes will be the first thing that opens to you. In classes, you can add members to your class. If you're part of a Google Classroom, you can connect that right away, or you can invite your students right here. You can also add assignments, which would be the content that you've created. You can make that an assignment for your students to watch, and they take quizzes through those content videos, and they would populate right here in this page. If I had the pro version of Edpuzzle, or if my school district did, I could get the grade book as well, but for right now I just have the free version. If you want to invite your students, you can also do it from right up here. That's under My Classes. If I then go to My Content, it'll show me videos that I have used previously, and I can click on those videos and immediately assign them to students. I can also check them and assign them, or I can move them to a separate folder. I can also delete them if I don't want them. Okay, so then I can go here to the search area, and you can see that I've been searching for classifying quadrilaterals previously. We're going to do a new search for something else related to math. And if you see over here on the left, there are different websites that can be used to find videos for your classroom. So Edpuzzle has a lot of its own videos already, so you can click through that and look at some of the examples that other teachers have created. You can go to YouTube. One thing that's great is that this actually filters out a lot of stuff already for you, so you don't have to worry about previewing things too much. You still probably want to preview it to make sure it's appropriate for your classroom, but for the most part, things are filtered out as far as language and inappropriate videos. So then you can go also to Khan Academy, National Geographic, and so on. I'm going to stay on Khan Academy for right now, and I was looking up that classifying quadrilaterals earlier. I also need to teach my students how to classify triangles. So we're going to go ahead and look up some videos on classifying triangles. And the great thing is if I change my mind and I don't want to look at Khan Academy, I can go to YouTube instead, and the same thing will pop up, or Edpuzzle, and other information will pop up there as well. I'm going to stick with Khan Academy for right now because that's what I use fairly often. So I'm going to click on this video over here. I'm sorry, the first one here that says triangles categorization by angles. So I'm going to use this video. If I want to watch it first, I can, or I can just click use it, and I'll still be able to watch it as I'm doing the editing. So if I click use it, there are 4 options for things that I can do with this video. There's crop, there's audio track, there's audio notes, and there's quizzes. Along the right hand side next to the video, it'll give you little tutorials for how to use each of these things. There's also down in the lower right hand corner a help center, and that's for Edpuzzle as a whole. So if you have questions, you can always click on that and it'll give you information that you need. Okay, so with crop, that's pretty much a given, but you can crop the video in length. This is 5 minutes and 59 seconds. Maybe I think that that's a little too long for my class. I can go through and crop out what I don't want. Okay, with audio track, if I click on audio track, I'm not going to right now because it'll automatically start recording my voice. But if I click on audio track, it can actually allow me to talk over top of the video that's being played, kind of like a voiceover. Audio notes are nice. I'll click on audio notes because I can pick any point in the video where I want to add an audio note. So let's say I get to this point and I want to remind my students that isosceles triangles, the little poem that we say for that is, I see 2 sides, isosceles, okay? And so I would add this little audio track here, and it would pause the video and my students would remember that little part. And then if I want to add a quiz to this, I can go ahead and add a quiz in as well. And there's different types of quiz questions you can do. You can do an open-ended question where they have to type back to you. They also offer the option to do multiple choice questions where you can select which answer is correct. Or you can do just a comment that's not really a quiz, but you want them to start thinking about something. So I might say, isn't it interesting that there are 3 different ways to classify the sides of triangles and 3 different ways to classify the angles of triangles? I wonder how they're going to relate to each other. And I could type that in there or add an audio note about that and make my students just think about it a little bit. When you're finished, you can click Save and then Finish, and it'll give you the option to add this to a class, to assign it to a class. And then there's a couple options like preventing skipping so that they can't just skip through the video. They have to watch the whole thing. And then I can add a due date if I want to. If I don't want to do any of that right now, I just want to, maybe I'm working on these in the summer and I want to keep these for later in the school year, I can click later and it's just going to add it to my content. So now you see that these options are here. And again, if I click on that little check mark there, I can assign it or move it to a folder from that point. So that's all now in my content. So from that point, you can create more content. You could use this and assign it to your students. If you create questions, when you go to My Classes, here in Assignments, you'll be able to see what your students have answered for those quiz questions, which is kind of cool. It doesn't automatically go into that. It's not forcing you to have that gradebook option. It allows you to watch it or to look at it in Assignments as well. All right, so that was a quick tutorial, very quick tutorial on how to create content in EdPuzzle. Hopefully you got some important information.